Mr. Ayebode, thank you for your mentorship and your friendship over the years. I appreciate it. Thank you. As I start these remarks, I would like to acknowledge my wife, my darling wife, Ladi. She has created an enabling environment that allows me to go and do the things I need to do. And that's why everything that has been chronicled has happened. It's all because of her. So thank you. In addition, I have the Lekoil and Cambridge team here. Many of them actually flew from different places, from Nigeria, from Florida, from Dubai, all to be here tonight. So thanks, guys. I would also like to recognize my big brother, who were raised by the same mother, Ambassador Okunwayodeji. Thank you, sir. And his wife is here as well, Ambassador Okunwayodeji. Thank you, man. Heather, thanks for giving me the opportunity to serve on the board of Global Fund for Widows. When Heather approached me and started sharing her vision about GFW, it resonated deeply within me. Because for me, the issue of widows is a very personal one. My mother was widowed for 11 years before she passed away. My mother-in-law, my wife's mother, Tommy's mom, has been widowed for over 20 years. My niece, Shola, Ambassador's daughter, has been widowed for about a decade. So it's a very personal issue. And when she started talking about it, there was no hesitation. I knew we had to do something. My mother's widowhood, the period when my mother was widowed, just gave me an insight. It was like a window to see just a snapshot of what widows go through, and also why the Global Fund for Widows approach is so effective. So my father passed away in 1999, and less than 24 hours after he was buried, some of his family members showed up in our house and said they have come to collect their son's things. And my parents had been married for 46 years before that passed. They wanted his things, they wanted the property, they wanted the house. They seemed particularly interested in a car. It was a Mercedes-Benz sedan that I had bought for my dad to replace a car that he had sold to support the family. They wanted that one too. And it was very shocking and very difficult for us. And I just kept thinking, what things? When my parents met, they were students. He didn't get any inheritance. My dad did not get any inheritance from his dad. So whatever they had, they built it together. Over 46 years. In that same 46-year period, my mom worked as an educator, pinnacle of her career. She retired and started businesses, and she had 3 successful businesses. You know, I credit my entrepreneurial drive, by the way, to my mother, and the vision to make things bigger to my father, but that's another story. In that same period, she had done so well in the community. She had become what you call a high chief. And in her position, she was the second highest, she held the second highest title in town. And she had raised children that were successful. You know, she raised an ambassador, she raised a doctor of geology, she raised a professor of medicine, she raised an award-winning journalist, a microbiologist, a linguist. Wow. And she raised some guy who started as an engineer and went into finance and went to started the gas business and everything. So opportunity, successful. And I just kept thinking, so what more did she have to do? In fact, it's almost as if widowhood created an opportunity to cut her down to size. So we started trying to deal with the issue. She took it head on, approached different people in town, the king, all the influential people, just trying to resolve this issue. And I know it took a lot of humility because some of the people that were now sitting in charge of the council, so to speak, trying to decide her future, they hadn't achieved 10% of what she did. And what also surprised me, and it goes to what Mr. Yebodo was saying about some cultural issues, was that as she started talking to people, the response was wishy-washy. They would say, yeah, you know, maybe you need to do something with them, you need to help them out. I mean, at the end of the day, she realized nobody was going to solve this for her. So she went and she negotiated with them. And at the end of it all, yes, she did not lose everything, but she was still partially disinherited. A woman of that caliber, successful, had everything, still partially disinherited. And my question is, if someone of that stature could go through this, then what about the average reader that doesn't have all the resources, that doesn't have a voice? Like, what is their recourse? And that's why we have no choice but to really just step in, do what we need to do to support these readers. The problem is a lot bigger than people think. The official numbers out of Nigeria says which Nigeria has 3.5 million widows. Our research says the actual number is closer to 20 million. It's a real issue. So from my perspective, I'm going to support this course. For me, it's more than making the donation and going away and hoping, I've played my part, the rest of the problem will resolve itself. No, we need to make steadfast, unwavering, resolute, consistent effort, day in, day out, year in, year out, until we actually show ourselves. And my request is that everybody in this room will stand with us. Thank you very much.